Hey everybody, welcome to the real United States. And welcome to Washington, D.C. It's Cherry Blossom Festival. It is the 2017 Cherry Blossom Festival. It's just started at the beginning of this week. It's now the first weekend of the festival, and the blossoms are out, not probably quite at their peak, but very nearly so. Now this year, many of you may know, we had a very warm spell during the winter here in the greater Washington, D.C. area. It got up at one point to 80 degrees. The blossoms started to come out a little early, and then it dropped down and got very cold into the low 20s, and many of the blooms that were forming or that were already out, of course, froze and died. So this year, we probably lost about 50% of the blossoms from the cherries, at least the early bloomers. And so it's going to be a little subdued this year, and you may notice that in the tree behind me. But still a very beautiful display. And of course, some of the other varieties of these Japanese cherry trees, like the Kwanzans, come out a little later. So those, of course, we can still do, and they should come out in all their glory. But these here are some of the original Yoshino cherries that were planted, of course, here in the Washington, D.C. area, a gift from the nation of Japan in 1912. And yes, for those of you who have been following us for a few years, originally it was 1910. Those trees were infected and had to be destroyed. And of course, they re-gifted another 1,000 or so trees. That number's not springing to mind, but it was roughly 1,000 trees again in 1912. And those were planted around the Tidal Basin, which is the area by the Jefferson Memorial, and here in Haynes Point Park, in Haynes Point in East Potomac Park, rather. We're just along the banks of the Potomac River, and these stretch around this like 4-mile loop of this park called Haynes Point, which is the geographical figure in East Potomac Park, on both sides of the street. Now I've got a little bit of footage this year that we shot with the GoPro. I'll throw that in here now. Now, as you can see, many of the blossoms here already, when they come out, they're really very pinkish. But after they've been out for about 48 hours, I guess, they start to become more white in color as some of the pigmentation is bleached out by the sun, but still very, very beautiful. Now, I'd like to show you that all of the blossoms are not out. Okay, so if you're still planning on coming down, here, for example, you can see that many of these are just, the buds are just starting to bust open, and it'll be a few days before those are in full bloom. And as you can see what I said, that, you know, they're very pinkish in color when they first bloom and then bleach out to a more white color as they're exposed to the sun for a while. But still, on this particular tree, a good number of them have not come out yet. I'm hoping this isn't going to be terribly backlit for you folks. Try to keep my face in the sun so you can see me, but even on these that seem to be in full blossom, there are in fact many of the buds here that have not fully opened. And it looks, according to the weather, like we're not going to get any more freezing temperatures, so hopefully we won't lose any more of the blooms that are out or coming out. So the National Cherry Blossom Festival here in DC lasts actually for about 4 weeks. And of course, peak bloom is the real zenith of the festival. Everybody wants to come and see all these beautiful cherry trees in bloom. But there's a lot of other activities. There is a major parade down Constitution Avenue. There's a ceremony for the cherry blossom queen, both the American cherry blossom queen and the Japanese cherry blossom queen. The ceremonial lighting of the lantern. Just so many things going on. And as you can probably hear in the background, that's a jet engine firing up. We're right across the river from Ronald Reagan International Airport. And while the ambient noise drives me a little bit crazy, I understand you guys like to hear what's going on, so that's what it is. So I don't know if you can really see this on camera, but this grove stretches just, like I said, for miles around this area. And some of these other trees, I don't know, they look like cherries, but they don't seem to have any blooms, any buds. So they may in fact be a different type of flowering tree. I'm not certain. I don't think these are the Kwanzans, but I can't tell until they start to come out. So anyway, folks, this is this year's display. We've got more things we're going to try and film. Taiko drums and do a series of dance routines and songs are going to be performing here today. We got to go film that. There's some other species of cherry trees we might be able to get some footage of. So please stick with us. I hope you've enjoyed this short visit here to the National Cherry Blossom Festival here in Washington, D.C. Got questions or comments? Leave them in the comments section below. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. If you're new here, hey, welcome. Pick subscribe. Come along for the adventure. We got lots more to show you. And as always, thank you for watching.